All right, this is Bubba. I am back with another concert review, this time of Dillon Carmichael. I saw him at the Cornbread Festival in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. If you're not familiar with that, not from this area, it's kind of your basic festival. It was like a $10 cover charge to get in. They got vendors and food, events, and that kind of stuff. So it was sort of free, I guess. But like I said, $10 cover charge to get in. But I probably wouldn't have went there if it wasn't for him, just because it's a little bit of a drive for me. But it's my first time seeing him. I was anxious to hear him in person. I was a huge fan of his first album. I think I added more than half the songs to my playlist, which is rare for me. And then after that, this is just a brief kind of overview. He's also the nephew of John Michael Montgomery and Eddie Montgomery. And his grandfather was also in the music business, so most people probably don't realize that because it's a different last name. But after the first album came out, I was such a big fan of. He had a 4-song, whatever it's called, EP or whatever. I wasn't really a fan of it. It wasn't my kind of taste. Um, and then the last album, well, I thought was somewhere in between those. So I added, I think, maybe 3 songs for my playlist from it. So I was eager to kind of see in person, what way did it go? Did it go to the more traditional of the first one or the more sort of mainstream side of what? So I was anxious to hear how it went, and we'll get into that later. But I saw him on a golf cart. Kind of funny story. Went out to my parking lot to get something. Saw him on the golf cart, and said his name, and he waved back. From a look standpoint, if you don't know what he looks like, he does kind of have that Luke Combs look, the kind of everyman look. Sort of the bigger guy. So it doesn't affect me in either direction. But I think it's a good thing. But it's not going to change my opinion either way because I'm here for the music, not looks. But I think some people can relate to that when they see that. But one, he did after about the first song or two, he encouraged everyone to come up close to the stage. So that was neat. And unfortunately, the sad part was that when he caught it back up there at the stage, and I got some amazing videos. But as I posted on the community thing, I lost the footage. I was using a new clip-on mic, which I thought would sound better, but instead it distorted it. It distorted the sound. So unfortunately, I will not be able to upload those clips. So that certainly made me sad. And then he also was very interactive with the crowd and was grabbing everybody. People was wanting him to take pictures, like selfies and stuff. So that was, all the girls did that, I think. So it was kind of a fun, interactive experience. So, that all between all signs point to him being a likable stand-up guy and the type of guy you want to cheer for from the personality side of things. As far as the band setup, it was 2 guitar players and a drummer, no steel guitar, which is always something I look for when I look for a country act, but as far as like the touring anyway. On the voice side of things, I thought his voice was I didn't leave blown away with his voice, but I thought it was solid. It certainly wasn't a weakness. I think I don't think whether you like him or you don't like him, I don't think his voice is going to be the deciding factor. But from my side, no problems or issues with the voice. He one of the funny songs he sung. He has a kind of a sexual type song called "Sawing Logs," which was funny. He did that. In the highlight, he is for his first song in his. Let me back up. His sound is more of a. He shifted when he went from the first album to the second and third. He went to more of a mainstream type of sound. So that was something of note. I mean, it's not too far, but it's not as I don't think it was as traditional as the other ones. But his song, he does have a song in the top 30 now called "Son of Eight," which is a great song, the best song on that album, I think, kind of by far to me. And so it was a good sign that he did release, and it's got a good story to it, and it talks about a kid acting up, and the dad coming there and saying, you're not going to do that. You're a son of a mom and dad, and that kind of stuff. So very good meaning, very good song. Go listen to it. And so I'm glad to see that song have success because that is more, while it is a mainstream sound, it does have a good message behind it as well. So that's a win on that front. The one cover song he did was David Lee Murphy's "Dust on the Bottle." Um, he did not sing going back to where he the first album he had did not do, but I only recall two songs from that. That's which is the more traditional sound. He did two songs from that. That was Country Women, which he kind of played around with that, called it Tennessee Women, and then the Dancing Away with My Heart were the two songs that I recognized that he did from that first album. But I had no even he did sing a song that I had overlooked from listening to the album the first couple of times called Family Tree, and talks about how there's a lot of deer stands in our family tree, and I can see that song being a single down the line. But he had good stage presence and energy. He was moving around and stuff. I mean, he wasn't Gosbrook sit lining on the stage or nothing, but he he walked around and maneuvered. So and then he had his voice was clearer too and easy to understand, which a lot of times that gets overlooked. Sometimes most people won't know every word to every song. So even the songs that maybe I didn't know, I could understand and tell what he was saying, even though I think I knew all the songs, but they may have been one or two in there that didn't. So it was no issue understanding the words, and he did do one encore song as well. The set was about an hour and a half long, and he did drink some beer and stuff on stage, and just scoring at home. It was not Budweiser. But I thought it was a fun concert, very good concert. I'm glad I saw him. I would go see him again if you're looking for if you're more traditional and your wife or girlfriend isn't, and you kind of want to meet the middle for an artist. I think he'd be a good candidate for that. Certainly, the type of person we need to be having success. But far as the interactive and the likability standpoint, I mean, 9.5 out of 10, no issues at all from that side of things. Where he does lose some points for me is that the more traditional songs on that first album, old songs like that, Made to Be a Country Boy, Might Be a Cowboy, and the Hangover song, he did not sing. So that was, as you might know if you pay attention, I'm pretty hard to please with stuff. But to answer kind of the headline of this, I could see him being the next Luke Combs. I mean, to me, I have no shit against Luke Combs, but I don't see much separating Luke to Dillon. I mean, he's got some cleverly written songs. So I like Dillon songs better actually, but yeah. So I could definitely see him down the line. Even though Luke's the biggest star, I could definitely see him. Being the next Luke Combs. Good show, fun show. Somebody I'm rooting for. If I had to rate it, I would say probably 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Would certainly go see him again, but yeah, that's my review. If he comes here, go see him. But would like for him to go just look to I know it's hard when you're trying to chase the traditional and then mainstream and that kind of stuff. So I think he's got. I think he'll figure out the balance of those two. But and the song he did release is a good start to that. Like and subscribe.